At this point, we have a Kubernetes cluster set up and we understand how YAML files can be created to handle the deployment of pods and expose them to our consumers. Moving forward, we'll be using the Kubernetes command line tool named kubectl to interact with our cluster. I'll show later that this is the command that you can use to load your YAML files. So you should have this configured already for your environment to be able to connect to kubectl, but I'm going to show you just a quick demonstration of what that would look like. So my system has been set up to use the AWS command line tools, and now the specific command I would be using is for EKS. We're going to specify this with the region that we're working in. For me, I'm in US West 2, and I want to run the command for update kubeconfig and set the name as the EKS cluster that I created earlier called demo. And here it's complaining about my region because I had a typo where I was adding a dash here. Great. And so what this does is that it takes the Kubernetes cluster that I've created and binds it to my kubectl commands. Kubectl is a tool that you should have installed on your machine so that you can interact with the cluster. kubectl is a tool that's not created by AWS, and so by using that command that I demonstrated over here, this ensures that when I run kubectl commands, I'm running it against that cluster that I created. So now that we have kubectl set up against that cluster, we can start by taking our service and deployment YAML files and applying them against the cluster to have them available. That command is kubectl apply-f, and I'll start with the deployment file. There should be a bit of a lag while it takes a few seconds to process. And after that, I had a response saying that the deployment's created. Great. So that means that the EKS cluster has accepted my deployment file and is processing it. Now, I want to do the same thing with my service file. Likewise, it should have taken a few seconds, but this one was returning a lot faster. kubectl provides a wide range of commands to interact with Kubernetes. The following are some basic commands that we can use to interact with our current cluster. To start off, we have kubectl get pods, and this shows the pods in the cluster. We can see what pods are running and some of its metadata, such as the health of the containers inside of the pods. kubectl describe services show the services in the cluster. We can get an overview of the type of services that are running inside of the cluster using this command. If I wanted to take a step back and get some cluster-wide information, I could run the kubectl cluster info command, and this would print a large volume of information detailing the cluster. So let's take these commands and show you how they work in a demonstration. To start off, let's use the kubectl get pods command. Running this should show all the pods in the cluster, and as we can see, we have some pods running. We have two replicas of the My App application, and it provides us some metadata such as the status. And we can see it's running, and we can see how long it's been running for. This shows the pods that were created when I provisioned my deployment YAML file using the apply command previously. Now I can run this command to have Kubernetes give me some information about the services that are running on the cluster. As we can see, we have the My App service running inside of this cluster, and some additional metadata was also provided, such as the port that it's running on or the IP address that the cluster uses internally. Great. So let's say I don't care too much about the services or the pods, and I want to get some more details about the cluster. I can run the command for kubectl cluster info, and this is going to print a bit of information that I can use to diagnose or understand what's happening with Kubernetes.